What's up, guys? NASCAR King number 88 here, and today I will share my list of my top 10 least favorite drivers in NASCAR currently. These drivers will be selected across Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup Series. Remember, this is just my opinion, so don't storm the comments trying to defend your favorite drivers. If you like these drivers, then that's great. Remember, this is just my opinion. I'm not some secret driver reviewer that secretly works for NASCAR. That would be really, really cool. But still, just take this list slightly. You have been warned, I guess. Anyways, on to the list. So, for number 10, I have Cup Series driver and champion, Joey Logano. Now, he would have been a lot higher on this list if he wasn't as rowdy as he is on restrictor plates now than he is. If he was more rowdy in the intermediate and short tracks, then he'd be higher up on this list. But now he's just becoming the Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the next one, basically. He's wrecking everybody at restrictor plates, and he's being ridiculously stupid. It's just, try the big one in this year's Daytona 500. He pushed Eric Almirola and dumped Keselowski. Try the fall 2019 race. A few laps to go in stage 2. I know that Alex Bowman did a horrible balk, but he could have gone around higher or lower, like below him or above him. There was a lot more room on the track. Talladega is a wide track. Just saying. So for number 9, I have Xfinity Series driver Riley Herbst. Now, I just personally don't think that he deserves the equipment that he has now. He has amazing equipment, but he hasn't done anything. I mean, he's finished second twice. I'll give him that. But other than that, he hasn't really done much. He's had 4 DNFs. That doesn't sound like much, but it's gone across every now and again, and he's just been he's just had the short stick of every end, or whatever, however that saying goes. And I just don't feel like that I'm just saying that there's 4, as of recording this video, there's only 4 more races until the playoffs start in the Xfinity Series. And if he messes up, he could be below the cutoff line, and he could actually miss the playoffs in JGR equipment, I remind you. I just don't feel that he deserves the ride that he's in after not doing a lot of stuff in the Truck Series or Xfinity Series. So who I have for number 8, I have Truck Series driver Grant Enfinger. Now, to be fair, he does have 2 wins, but they were just not very good. Like, I can't describe to you how mad and angry I was when Enfinger at the season opener at Daytona beat out Jordan Anderson. Like, it could have gone either way, so he kind of didn't deserve the win, because he kind of just shoved him out of the way to win the race. And I guess trying to go for a win, but still, it was a cheap move. Excuse, I accidentally stepped on the stool, whatever. And when there was a caution in the Atlanta race, Austin Hill had that race in the back, but then he stole it and led the 1 lap. He led 1 lap the entire day, and that was the last one. So he just stole. I just feel like he stole the win from him, and it wasn't fair at all. I feel that if things hadn't gone his way, he'd have 0 wins, and he wouldn't even be advanced to the playoffs yet. So I just don't feel that he deserves his 2 wins this year. But that's just my personal opinion. So for number 7, I have his teammate, in fact, in Thor Sports, Johnny Sauter. This is the last Truck Series driver on this list, so he's technically my least favorite driver in the Truck Series. A good reason I started to not like him was last year in Iowa in the Truck Series when he dumped Hill and was suspended 1 race. And then NASCAR gave him a playoff waiver, which was not cool in my opinion, because he was suspended a race for wrecking a driver, not for sickness or injury. So I don't think it was fair that he was given a playoff waiver. But I was glad that I got my sweet revenge later at Talladega when he was already eliminated from the playoffs, and he pushed Riley Herbst down below the yellow line and was black flagged. The good news is that as of recording this video, he's below the cutoff line and probably will miss the playoffs unless he wins a race. And maybe this will make him think about hanging up the helmet, so I won't be able to worry about him for any longer. For number 6, I have Xfinity Series driver Harrison Burton. God, I cannot describe how much I hate this primary scheme with the decks. It is ugly and evil when I look at it. He stole a win from Gragson in the Saturday Homestead Miami race this year after a few overtime attempts, which was undeserving. Unfortunately, I can't say the same thing about his first win, winning at Auto Club, because that was unfortunately a dominating fashion before the 2-month break. As of recording this video, we are about to go to Darlington in the throwback race, and God, the pace scheme he has is ugly for the throwback, and it's just a homage to his father. Speaking of Jeff Burton, all of the other broadcasters like Rick Allen and Dale Jr. and Steve Letarte, they just mooch off of him for having his son in the field the same way that NBC mooches off of Jesse Iwuji every race for being in the Army. No offense to him, I'm glad that he served in the Army. I don't want to say I'm proud of him, but I want to thank him for serving in his Army. But they're basically beating a dead horse with him saying that he's comparing NASCAR to a fighter jet. It's like 1 or 2 races are good, but now they're just overdoing it, in my personal opinion, for that at least. So now that we're going to the top 5, these are drivers that I really dislike. Like, truly, just god-awful. Next time I kick something. Okay. So for number 5, I have Penske Racing's Brad Keselowski. To put it lightly, he annoys me. Under most aspects of everything. First, there was this whole not lifting meme in 2019 that was going around, basically, which caused basically most of the wrecks in the Daytona July race that year, which was also chaotic. Then they were hyping him to make the championship 4 in 2018 after a dominating regular season, and he would end up getting eliminated in round 12. And now, after winning New Hampshire this year for his 3rd win of the season, again, he got a contract extension. The very next week in the Michigan doubleheader, and the second one, he wrecks his own teammate Ryan Blaney for the lead and gets out of the race. This is the guy that he can just do whatever he wants and he'll get attention. And I just don't think that the captain should have made the decision to continue his contract. I personally thought that he was going to go to the 48. But, hey, that's his team. He can do whatever he wants. Now, number 4, my least favorite driver in the Xfinity Series is Noah Gragson. Okay. He is a flat-out doofus when you see his face. He's just a flat-out doofus. Basically, when he won his first race at Daytona this year, he celebrated way too much by doing burnouts way too long, by climbing the fence like Tony Stewart, pretending to start a fire when he was doing burnouts. He's trying to pretend he started a fire, and then he did a whole bunch of other stuff that aggravated me that day. And then after the 2-month break, actually, I accidentally hit the thing. Sorry. After the COVID break, great way to get demonetized. After that break, in the Bristol race, he wrecked his teammate Allgaier for the lead at Bristol and went on to win, and dumped Riley Herbst at Texas. He also fought Burton at Kentucky, which was interesting to watch, but I just feel like. Anyways, I just don't think that he should get the 48 in a few years, because if he does, I will lose hope in all of humanity. Now we're going into the not-so-great podium things. So the rest of these drivers are Cup Series drivers, just to say. So number 3, I have Kevin Harvick. He's childish, in my personal opinion. He just, basically, he's just really childish. He puts a smile on his face every time every time he basically is looked at a camera. He wins a stupid number of races every year. And now that Phoenix is the championship, now that Phoenix is the championship race, NASCAR is basically handing Harvick the championship. Hey, here's the Bill France trophy. Congratulations on doing absolutely nothing except for dumb buck and everything like that. Now, second place, runner-up, is Denny Hamlin. Before 2019, I just rated him off as an afterthought. Now, he wins everything and acts like a fool to himself, example, I should say, was Martinsville last year in the playoffs. He fights Logano and says, "Hey, he's just short track racing." When Newman crashed at Daytona 500 this year, his team didn't care. They basically just continued celebrating their third Daytona 500 in 5 years. Don't you think that gets a little bit boring after 3? And Joe Gibbs, his owner, not him, no, his owner has to do it, has to apologize. He doesn't apologize for it. Just a selfish jerk. Same thing goes for his daughter during iRacing, if you know what I mean, when he did the, what's it called? When he, I don't know. Oh, shoot. He's not third, he's second. I just mishap there. I just don't like him at all now, basically. I just hope that he wins a few more races so he can become the greatest driver to never win a championship. Because that's all I want now. He's won too much. He's won everything except for a championship now. So I hope that stays the same. Now, before I reveal my least favorite driver, let's go through some dishonorable mentions. Guys like Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he would have been on my list, but now he didn't. While I was scripting this video, I was going to put I forgot completely about Christopher Bell. I don't like him at all because he just wins too much and he's a doofus and that little face, whatever. I would have put him in the top 5, but now that he's basically not doing anything in Cup Series, and for some reason he's going to finish outside top 20, but he's still going to get a JTR right for doing nothing. And basically every single driver that's in Kyle Busch Motorsports right now. I don't like Jaron Nemechek because he's technically rivals with Cole Custer, and I really like him. And Daniel Hemrick, who just keeps on getting every good ride possible before he gets kicked out. And now, my number one least favorite driver in NASCAR currently is Kyle Busch. It could not have been anybody else. Kyle Busch is the definition of goofiness. He wins, rubs it in other people's faces, and wins every Xfinity and truck race he enters. When he dumped Larson for the win in Chicagoland in 2018, everybody remember that, the slide job. He makes a crying face, wah. Oops. He makes a crying face, wah. And then he says, I quote, "If you don't like that kind of racing, don't even watch." He basically is on advertising, I don't know how you say it. He's under advertising his own job and sport he loves just to get a reaction out of people. And he is. In a negative way. Unless you're a Kyle Busch fan, it's basically the good old saying. You either love him or you loathe him. And unfortunately for him, I loathe him. Now, fortunately, there is a chance this year he'll go for the first time in his Cup Series career without a single win. And hopefully he'll get eliminated in the round of 12 because he's terrible at Talladega and he's terrible at the Charlotte Oval. And unfortunately, those are both tracks that I absolutely love. So I just hope that he gets eliminated after the round of 12. So there you have it. That's my list on the top 10 least favorite drivers in my personal opinion. In a few minutes after recording this video, or after publishing this video, there will be a video uploaded called My Top 10 Favorite NASCAR Drivers. It'll basically be like a doubleheader if I have the time to post 2 videos in one day. This will be fun. And I just hope I can do it, because that'll be really fun to watch. So I'll probably see you in a few minutes. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe. If you want to, then leave in the comment section below your favorite, or your top 10 least favorite drivers, and why your least favorite driver is your least favorite driver. So I'll probably see you in a few minutes. If you like what you saw, consider liking and subscribing. Bye.